This is my favorite subject. Selling instead of taking orders, right? And I really appreciate, I'm Catherine Schifferly, founder and Chief Vision Officer of Work Truck Solutions. And I'm really excited that Peter Spitzer, who's the general manager at DePratt in Dixon, agreed to join us. We've spent a little time lately on a different project, and I've just been really impressed with Peter's thinking. So this is going to be a good one together. I love business to business. I am not a consumer and I'm not a consumer marketer. I don't really like how that, how to talk to consumers. What I like is understanding a business customer and helping them solve problems. That is what B2B is so much about. And that's what all of you are about. This is a sketch that I did for you. Hope you don't mind how rough it is, but
beautiful.
Thank you. It's so different. Look, you take 10 retail customers and maybe one of them will buy a car, but you get one good customer commercial lead and they can buy 1, 3, 5, 10, and they're loyal. And we know that they are typically some kind of vocational activity, but understanding them and how they work and what they do is a really critical next stage of how to be more meaningful to them ongoing. And so, I did teach marketing for a little bit at Chico State, about a dozen years, part-time, and then a little bit of full-time for a period. And I really liked this slide that I used. It's really for business customers. It's about committing to create value for them and to serve them as a trusted partner and reinforcing the advantages that you bring to them and that they have in their competitive environment, and regarding challenges as opportunities. To me, that kind of says that whole customer relationship philosophy. Let's roll up our sleeves and figure out how to make things better, right? And I think it's very interesting. I've been using this slide for a while, as you could see, because it says as early as 2025. But Gartner, I don't know if you guys know, but they kind of show where different products are on kind of a map of, how important they are to their customers. And they predicted this, and it is true, like B2B sales interactions are more and more occurring in digital channels. So making sure that the sales connection, the sales relationship is still there is a huge opportunity to you guys, because so many companies are just going to, well, just go online, just do this, or don't even talk to me, right? So this is what we believe your customers expect. They expect an omni-channel experience, an experience where they can go different places to see what you're doing and how you're going to help them. They expect it to be personalized. They expect it to be consultative, and they really, really hope that it's frictionless because they got better things to do. So Peter, I'm going to ask you to jump in here and tell me if you think that we've missed any expectations here. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I think you're hitting it right on the head. You sent me this slide deck, and that famous Theodore Roosevelt quote really came to my head. No one knows how much you care. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. You have to start there and building that rapport with the customer. And people, think of selling as, oh, the salesman's just trying to pitch me and make money on me. No, you're selling them. You're asking them the right questions. You're making sure that they're getting the right equipment for the job. And then you're a consultant to them. You're the truck expert. You have to show that you care, and then you have that knowledge to ask the right questions to get that right piece of equipment, and really putting your dealership up there and really selling the value of your specific store.
Absolutely. And the good news, everybody, is that if you do this, what Peter's talking about, you're going to have so many advantages over everybody else because of this really weird thing that's happening right now. You know, people don't expect somebody to talk to them. They don't expect somebody to care about them. They really don't. And so when it happens, it really makes you different. So but that means you have to be proactive, right? You have to put yourself out in front of them. You can't wait for them. You have to find a reason, and you have to use all the channels. So, you know, how we do that, right? With omni-channel, you know, this is actually, I'm going to let you talk a little bit, Peter, because you guys are actually doing this in your own particular way, right?
Yes, we are. So November, December, commercial account managers, GMs, sales managers, whoever's on this call, we all know it's crunch time. I mean, you're not really worried about building those relationships with customers. You're just trying to handle the heat and the volume of calls coming at you, and you're selling, right? You're writing up contracts, and you're trying to get out as many trucks as possible. Now it's January. Now it's time to game plan. Now it's time to get back in front of these customers, show them that we care. But then it's, how do we do that? You know, these slides are revolving around, it's the digital era, right? It's not just beating down doors, going door to door to these businesses and talking to them. You need to get in front of them in a different way. So the way that we do that is through quarterly newsletters. A few of my account managers do a really good job of this by building these newsletters and making it easy. They list out all of our inventory that we have on the ground, as this webinar is called Back to Selling rather than order taking, right? And I promise you, your owners and your GMs and the whole store will appreciate you if you sell what's on the ground rather than just ordering fresh vehicles while you have 2024s, 2023s, maybe even 2022s still on the ground. And you're doing your customers a service by showing those, you know, those vehicles that are on the ground as well.
So here's an example. It's a little bit long, but I think, as you all know, you get a copy of this after the session. So, but this is obviously written in a way that explains the concept of a consultant, right? We're here to help you. We want to help you with your purchase. We deliver things where we, you know, explaining who you are and how all the framework is that you can help. So here's just an example. And by the way, you know, there are lots of different ways of coming up with this type of idea. You know, we talking to each other. We're always happy to help. I'll just say, if anybody wants other examples, we're happy to provide that as well. So talk a little bit about, you know, how your team thinks about personalizing things, Peter.
Sure. I mean, you have up here, know your customer's business, speak their needs. That means asking the right questions. That's probably the most important thing that you can do in sales, is ask the right questions. Mm-hmm. They walk up to you and say, I want to order a F550, right? Super cab, this set CA, it's for this body. Do you have one, or can you order me one? You need to put on those brakes and really try to build that rapport with that customer and ask the right questions. What is this vehicle for? What job are they trying to do? How much are they towing? What are they hauling in there? And really asking those right questions. How far are they going to be driving? Is this a candidate? Obviously, for an F550, it's not going to be a candidate yet, but is this customer a candidate for EV, right? Can we show them an EV? Can we save them money, right? Do we have a 22 that's sitting on the ground that has more incentives, that hasn't gone through 23, 24, 25 price increases? Can you save your customer money? I mean, what's wrong with that? They're going to appreciate you giving them those options.
I'm curious because, we didn't talk about this, so I don't mean to put you on the spot, but how do you capture the information that you get from those kinds of questioning sessions? Because I know this is one of the biggest challenges in the industry right now, I think, is, you know, helping the commercial salesperson be a salesperson with tools, right, that help them. And it's just hard. It's just hard because retail CRMs don't seem to do that, fix that gap, right? Yeah.
And we've faced that same challenge as well, actually. So everyone's not alone here. We do utilize our retail CRM to the best of our ability, but we all
Mhm.
know when you go in there to do multiple vehicle sales, the program is not designed to do that. It gets very choppy and convoluted in there.
But
So,
you
I mean,
still have a discipline around capturing information and making sure that it's recorded somewhere.
yeah, no, they take their own personal notes.
Mhm.
I mean, honestly, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, that's the way that we do it
Okay.
in Capture. Yeah, we don't have really a separate a separate commercial
Right.
CRM that we use.
Yeah, guess what? I'm actually asking consultative questions right now, and I'm sorry for putting you on the spot. Okay, cool. So on that note, like, what do you do with your team? Can you kind of talk us through, first of all, how many salespeople, commercial salespeople do you have?
We currently have 5 commercial account managers right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
And do they specialize, or how do you think of them?
We do not specialize. I know there's certain stores that they specialize in either government or more
Mhm.
commercial retail focus. Our guys, we like them to be well-rounded, like them to be able to sell any customer that's in front of them. So all of them are a combination of school districts, municipalities, commercial retail customers,
Mhm.
small, medium, large. I always offer to my commercial account managers that I will go on calls with them. It's one of my favorite things to do, honestly,
Yeah.
when I have time to get out of the office and go get in front of some customers and really sell the value of the dealership as a whole, right?
Mhm.
A large parts department, body shop that's on site, fleet of tow trucks, whatever other stores have that are beneficial. You always want to pitch that. But I think getting that other person in there that's not the account manager, doing it as a team is really key. When I
Mhm.
can have my account manager that has a relationship and I can reinforce what he's saying and
Mhm.
add value and talk about the service department, right? And the
Mhm.
specifics of the service department. I think that team aspect, because I see a lot of these stores, they're just a lone wolf and they're just
Right.
going up by themselves. So I think
And
the team
we
aspect.
know it because we talk to a lot of them. We know how challenging it is to be I don't even know if I'm allowed to say stuff like this anymore. A one-legged paper hanger. I don't know, probably not. So I won't say that. But I'm just saying that, it's hard because they have to do so many different things when they're by themselves. And that consultative, you're right. There's something about being able to have the concept that it's more than just one person. You can do that a lot of different ways, right? You don't have to have somebody go out, but the concept of having somebody maybe in your service department who is more knowledgeable about commercial service, who can be a resource or someone that can kind of occasionally support your commercial activity. Do you have special service? Like, do you have do businesses get to go to the front of the line? Is there anything that you guys do in your service department that kind of differentiates between businesses and consumers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have a separate fleet service department. So that's a separate about 18 technicians that we have at a completely different
Wow.
location. They have 3 advisors, 3 on-site advisors. We have 2 advisors for our mobile service department. We have currently 6 mobile vans.
Wow.
Last month we did almost 700 mobile experiences. So it's
Holy
it's
cow.
a huge selling factor to be able to. The first step that we found is to get the proper employees at our dealership together. So last year we did like a lunch with our commercial account managers, our outside part sales reps,
Mhm.
and our service advisors. Connect them and make sure they understand the value of sharing customers, right? It's only going to add
Right.
strength and
Fantastic.
stickiness to your dealership.
Oh my gosh.
Getting them to work together, and all of
Yep.
a sudden, hey, I'm selling this guy trucks, but we're not servicing him in the shop. Let's connect him and get him working in all of our departments together. And this year we have a big emphasis on our body shop, trying to get our body shop in the
Wow.
loop on that as well, because that's a huge selling point too. You can come get your service done or get warranty work done or recalls done and get that bumper fix at the same time at the same place.
Wow,
So
you
I think
guys have
it's really
really,
selling
wow.
what your dealership has to offer your specific services, but at the same time, more importantly, explaining why it's important to that customer, because that means more uptime for them, right? And saving them time. Their customers are not having to, their employees are not having to drive their vehicles to our dealership. They get to save that time and money and liability. Put that on us, put that on the dealership. We have the pickup and delivery complimentary service, and we have mobile vans that will come to you. And I believe just those services alone sell more trucks.
I got to tell you, Peter, I don't get to talk to our dealers as much, and I'm really excited because I remember in 2012 visiting you guys and talking to you about what we were doing, and you guys have done so much since then. I mean, it would be really interesting to kind of see your timeline strategy. Maybe I'll ask you to talk to me sometime and do that, because I think it's important for people to understand that as a business, commercial is really important for a dealership, and clearly you've recognized that. And clearly you're supporting it from the top down, right? And that's what makes it an important business, is that you recognize the different, and you found, let me ask you this, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but one of the things we talk about is that commercial customers are more loyal, right? And Jim, I'll get to your question in just a second. Your commercial customers are more loyal, right? Than retail. Is that
Absolutely
true? And through having a relationship with commercial customers, you get more retail business. Is that
absolutely?
Okay.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to validate that.
You marry up with a small, medium, or large company. You gain that loyalty, you gain that trust when you show them how you can encompass them and help them from all angles. No, Ford did not pay me to say this, but we're competing with the fleet management companies, right? Ford Pro has given us the tools to do every single thing a fleet management company can do. We can do track leasing. We have commercial lines of credit. We have telematics that we can sell these guys. We have maintenance plans, extended service plans. I mean, we have it all. We really do now. And they put in, I don't even, who knows how much they invested to get all this for us, but it's incredible. And then absolutely, when you encompass a company and gain their commercial business, guess what? They have friends, they have neighbors, they have family that need retail vehicles as well. You're right.
So Jim, you had a question about the mobile service that Peter's doing.
Yeah, I was curious if you could elaborate a little more on how heavily integrated is your mobile service operation with your sales commercial account managers with respect when they go out to either do just a visit to an existing client, or if they're out conquesting. How strongly is the mobile service portion part of that? Because then it becomes more a case of an ownership cycle as opposed to how low can you go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why I think when you're talking to a prospective customer about selling, you want to plant the seed early. I find that talking about mobile service, talking about these complementary services, it adds value to our dealership, right? So when you add all these extra value, that means that they might pay more money for the trucks. They're not going to grind you down as hard because they see other benefits to working with you. So the way we do it is whether it's an existing customer or a one that we're trying to gain, we make sure that we introduce them to our mobile service manager. We have one mobile service manager and 2 advisors under him. So we make sure that there's an introduction. So he's fully understanding of what our mobile vans are capable of, because they can't do everything, right? They can't do engine replacements. They can't do transmission replacements. And guess what? Most commercial account managers are not experts in that field. So guess what? Pass it off to the expert so that everyone stays in their lane and the expert talks about what they're expert in.
And let me guess, Peter, that mobile service is a profit center.
Absolutely.
Yay. Well, making it easy, is part of that list of things, right? You've already described so many things beyond just making it easy to find a vehicle that make it easy for the business, right? And that concept of they're not the experts in any of this. And so if you remove that burden from them, you become part of their team, right?
Yep.
So, but also making it easy for them to shop. That's important too, right?
Absolutely. Yep. You got an example of one of our newsletters that we send out here. This one is actually done by one of our commercial account managers, Mike Angus. He does a beautiful job. He lists out, you can see box trucks, box van, cargo vans. I can go down the list. Yep, right there. And he puts a hyperlink, a blue hyperlink right there that links directly to our Work Truck Solutions website. And it just makes it so easy. It shows if the vans have upfits on the inside. It shows those trucks and exactly what bodies are on them and features them with all their specs. Again, frictionless, and it makes it, it's click and point of what those customers want. And it features our aged inventory a lot of times, right? Our 22s or 23s or specials, save them money and help us lower down our flooring costs.
Absolutely. We want that to happen. Okay, get out of my way, Steve's note taker. Let's see if I can do it this way. There we go. I have to admit, I like quotes too, Peter, a lot when I do presentations. I usually have a lot more quotes than this one, but I really like this one for what we're talking about. I mean, just don't beat them, just make them irrelevant. They have, they're over here by themselves. They're able to sell something. You're over here taking care of them, right?
I like that. Yeah. Make your own ocean.
This is, we also think that education is an important thing. We really appreciate how many of you are coming to these events. We will talk about the next couple in a minute, but these 30-minute ones, if people have ideas of subjects that we'd like to cover, you'd like us to cover, we're very open. Steve will take that information. You can either put it in the channel or you can send him an email. Or send it to info@Work Truck Solutions. And we're going to be at NADA if anybody is going to be there next week. Our goal at NADA is to explain to the automotive industry how important commercial is. It is still, unfortunately, an uphill battle, Peter. I just oh, yay, you're just doing it. You're getting it. You've gotten it. You've grown it. And a lot of people just still don't understand it, including, I will say, including even the association. They don't really get it. They don't understand that commercial is somebody to, Jim Press, who some of you may know his name. He's my senior advisor. Wonderful man. He was the COO of Toyota for decades, the CEO of Chrysler for a period of time, knows the industry. He says that commercial right now is like F&I was 15 years ago, when people didn't understand. They'd put their brother-in-law into the department and they didn't understand it was an opportunity. It was something that they could grow. We believe that too. So we're there talking about that. Of course, we're at Work Truck Week. How many of you are going to go to Work Truck Week? Go ahead, raise your hand. I want to see it. How many of you are going to be there? Come on, do it. Yay. Okay, well, some of the people I know really well, because we've taught them. It's a great thing to try and put into your schedule, because this is how you see in advance what kind of products are coming. This is where you get a chance to talk to other dealers face to face. If you're coming, let us know, because we'll let you know about our Inner Circle Dealer Lunch, and make sure if you come that you stay for Thursday night's reception, which we know Thursday is usually when everybody leaves, but we decided we would do something fun instead, and then you can leave Friday morning. So it's really great, and so the lunch is really about dealers, and very heavily, talking about it and what everybody's doing and benchmarking and stuff. And then Thursday night is really about the whole ecosystem, because I really believe it's kind of like how Peter describes it. It's like everything's related, right? I mean, what we're really trying to do is do everything that we can for the entire commercial vehicle space for our customers, right? Everything that they want, we should be helping them with. And I love what Ford has done. Ford Pro has really stepped up and added a lot of that. But as dealers, you can even do more. It's so great, because you can be the everything for them. I'll also ask you to put on your calendar our spring commercial vehicle business summit. It's a virtual event. Those of you that don't know about it, we do it twice a year, and we are very, very thematic about what's going on around us. It's to 5-hour, 4.5-hour days of really great panels and keynotes, all focused on that concept that this is a space that we all, by connecting with each other, can do better, can deliver more, and can be more efficient. And this is a bi-monthly schedule for these webinars. We will be having them every other month. Our next webinar is in March, and it's about content. Jim, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say that I put the link to Work Truck Week in the chat.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Very good idea. If you want to go, we can get you a free pass for the floor show, for the trade show part. Again, let us know if anybody's going. Just ping Steve, or if you're one of our customers, your commercial, your customer success manager, they can get it for you. All right, we did fly through this with a couple minutes left.